Hi, my name is Borys, and in this video I'm going to show you how to synthesize your own 909 style kick drum using only Ableton's Wavetable Synth and a few stock audio effects. It's incredibly simple and it gives you much more flexibility than just using a standard sample. Before we get into the video, if you like what we are doing on this channel, make sure to subscribe. We've got more content about Ableton coming up. If you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out our Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course, and make sure to also check out the Everything Bundle Collector's Edition, which includes all of the courses, sound packs and project files in our store. And to see all of that, check the links in the video description. Alright, so let's get started. Let me just quickly show you our kick drum compared to a standard 909 kick. So here's the standard 909 kick, and here's our kick drum in Wavetable. I hope you can hear it's fairly similar. I tried to make it as simple as possible here in Wavetable, and we are using a few effects on top, but let me first disable the effects and just play you the raw signal coming out of the synth. Alright, so as you can hear, it's fairly light sounding, and then if we add the effects, it gets that punch. Alright, but first of all, let's go over what's going on here inside Wavetable. So we are only using a single oscillator, this oscillator 1, and we are not using a typical sine wave. We are just going slightly into the triangle wave here. So this would be the sine wave. Very clean sounding. Now here's a triangle wave. Already sounds quite distorted. We have more harmonics. Let's just preview on an EQ8 what's going on. We have a bit of a click, that's why we have some stuff here, but if we just take down to 0 all the envelopes, it's just this sine wave playing G0, which is basically 50 Hertz, and we are playing G over here as well. So if we now take this sine wave into the triangle area, you can hear that the further we go, the more harmonics we get. And then if we take the wavetable upwards from triangle, we are getting this typical saw wave-ish harmonics as well. So my favorite spot is somewhere around here, around 6%, where we are already adding these nice harmonics, but it's very subtle and we are only going to bring it out more with processing. So these spikes right here. Alright, so let's leave it at this. As for the amp envelope, we simply have 9 milliseconds of attack. For a bit of punch, we are taking down the sustain to -4 and having a decay of 11 milliseconds, and then the release controls only how long the sample is going to be. And now on top, we just have 2 envelopes. Let's quickly go back to the state from before. So we have 2 envelopes applied to the pitch of the entire synth. So let me quickly disable envelope 3 and take a look at envelope 2. This is just adding attack. So we have 170 milliseconds of decay, no sustain, and we are just adding a bit of punch by just raising the pitch in the first few milliseconds. And then on top of this, we also have envelope 3 cranked all the way up, and envelope 3 is even shorter. We have only 7 milliseconds, and this gives us the characteristic click. So without and with. So this click is quite nice. It's a nice sweet spot here at 7 milliseconds. We could also try achieving this by just going down with the attack on the amp. But it's just my preference to do this with the third envelope. It's just a different type of click that we are getting. So that would be my very simple wavetable setup. We are just going slightly into the triangle wave area and doing these two pitch envelopes to give our sound some punch, and then the characteristic click attack. All right, let's take a look at the processing now. And the first effect that we are doing here is soft clipping to further boost our click. So soft clipping is nicely done here with the glue compressor. We can try A-Bing this. I'm going to assign the same key to these two effects, and I'm going to play to you the 7 dB boosted original version, and with glue compressor with soft clipping. We are just altering our click slightly this way. So this is very simple. We are just enabling soft clipping and turning up the makeup. Now, on top of this, we are using roar, which is a great effect for kick drums, and especially because we have the multi-band setting and we can isolate different bands here and process them differently. So first of all, let's A/B this. So as you can hear, it gives us that characteristic kick of distortion without overwhelming our kick and completely destroying it. And we are achieving this by just controlling our bands nicely. So the low band gets a bit of excitation from this amount knob, and then we are rolling down the frequency. I find that above 20% it already gets a bit too aggressive for my taste, so I just leave it at this compared to... We're just getting a few more harmonics here. Now let's take a look at the mids. So over here, we are going to kind of accentuate the nice triangle wave harmonics that we got. And we are also rolling down the frequency knob here, because it would add that distorted click that we don't want in the mid band. So around 50% with rolled down frequency. So before and after, I hope you can hear these mid frequencies being nicely excited here. And then the highs, we are just giving our click just a bit more saturation. So everything together, without, and with. All right, I really like the result of this roar processing. On top of this, we are doing simple EQ. We are just cutting the very sub frequencies, very highs. And then also we are just slightly by 1 dB taking down the bass frequencies of the kick and boosting the frequencies around 1K. And this further accentuates the nice harmonics of our kick drum. Now, a great effect that I have over here as the noise setting of roar, it just adds a bit of noise to the attack of the kick drum. So let's add it. We are losing a bit of gain here. So this is our wet signal. If we exaggerate this, this is what it sounds like. And it just gives us that little bit of noisy warmth. And if we just dial this in slightly and mix it in, it just makes our kick sound a bit more analog-ish. Now, on top of this, I'm just making sure we are still completely mono with just selecting left channel in utility. This is because the noise setting of roar sometimes introduces a bit of stereo. So we're just making sure we're completely mono. And then on top of that, we are just shaving off a few dB with the limiter. So let's A/B all of the effects before and after. Before and after. All right, I really think this is fairly similar to the 909 kick drum. And what's now great about this one is that you can tune it without any loss of quality. So you don't have to just stick to G. And then what else? When you take a look at envelope 2, you can easily extend the decay. So for instance, let's go up to 250 or even 400. And now if we want to simply make the sample longer, we just increase the release on the amp envelope, for instance. And if we want to make it shorter, we simply go, and the kick is much snappier already. You can of course tweak the envelopes if you'd like a longer decay of the pitch envelope, or making it even snappier. Without as much pitching, you can increase the noisiness of the kick to try to make it more analog-ish. And what else? You can accentuate further the harmonics with the EQ, or you can enhance the sound by just, for example, saturating the mids more. So yeah, that's my approach to creating a 909 style kick drum and wavetable. It's really simple. If you just select all of these and save this as a nice instrument track, it's really useful if you simply want to drop in a custom kick and tweak the sound at its source. Alright, I hope you found this technique useful. Make sure to check out our Music Production Academy with lots of start to finish courses on making tracks in various genres. And if you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out the Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course. Make sure to also check out the Everything Bundle Collector's Edition, which includes all of the courses, sound packs and project files in our store. And to see all of that, check the video description. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, write us a comment, and I will see you in the next ones.